What's going on, motivators? We got another video. We gotta talk about New York. Mamdani and Ken Griffin hitting back where it hurts. Let's get into this.
Billionaire Ken Griffin is slamming Mayor Mamdani for making him the poster boy for his campaign to tax the rich.
Yeah, Griffin's saying that the mayor's rhetoric is putting his life in danger. Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us now with more on this. Marcia.
Okay, Jay and Jess. Mayor Mamdani began targeting Ken Griffin during his campaign for mayor. But to Griffin, it apparently became personal.
Wow, so Griffin is now calling him out because you're putting a target in the guy's back when all he's done and he's tried to do is make good by the city. Now, you could say that he is a rich billionaire, but how much has he given back to the city? This is what those people don't get. They always say, they tout that people are millionaires and billionaires. They never tell the other half of it, how much they give back to the community. And that's what socialists does. They only try to take, but they never tell the good that those people are doing.
Citadel blasting New York's mayor Zohran Mamdani for singling out CEO Ken Griffin in a push for a new pied-à-terre tax in New York targeting wealthy non-resident homeowners. At issue is this social media video. It was filmed right outside of Griffin's New York residence, in which the mayor unveiled that proposed tax on homes valued above $5 million when the owner's primary residence is outside of New York City. In a memo obtained by CNBC, Citadel said the target...
I just had a thought right now. Eventually, those people who claim that billionaires and millionaires are the problem, what are their cause and their wants? Their want is to be rich, right? So when you do become a millionaire, now what? Will they now become the problem? It's just a food for thought. Because we've seen that with a Bernie Sanders who claimed millionaire was a problem. Now he's a millionaire. It's no longer millionaire, it's billionaires. Will the same happen to the same people who are making thousands right now, probably $500,000? When they do become a millionaire, would they start crying that they're no longer the problem? It's the billionaires who are the problem, or the multi-millionaires who are the problem. It always changes when it starts hitting your pocket, doesn't it?
Griffin showed, quote, ignorance and disdain towards contributors to the city's economy. Citadel highlighted that its employees, including non-residents, have paid nearly $2.3 billion in New York City in state taxes over the past 5 years. And the memo pointed to the firm's planned redevelopment of 350 Park Avenue, a project expected to generate about 6,000 construction jobs and more than 15,000 permanent roles, with spending to exceed $6 billion. And I think if you really read the memo carefully, there's a little bit of a threat in there.
Several days later.
Speaking of warm greetings, I was going to do this, wanted to do this interview outside your apartment, but I thought it would be creepy.
Very cheeky right there, right? Do it outside the apartment, taking a little stab at Mamdani, right? He knew what he was doing. He knew he was trying to get the call out, but it's going to backfire because you cannot have people in power, i.e. the billionaires, and then call them out and think they could stay if they want to stay. No, if they want to leave, they leave. And now you're going to fight into the sense of like, well, we need your money, please come back. We saw what Hochul did. Please come back, millionaires, billionaires. Because that's where the revenue is coming back, so they could try to balance the budget, which they have not done so yet.
Creepy and weird. So how did you feel about the mayor's little video?
It was creepy and weird.
Agree.
I mean, like, knock on the window. Like, huh. Mayor of New York
knock
City.
on the screen, yeah.
Yeah, on the screen, like.
Yeah.
Like, that's
How many times have you watched that video?
Three. I
What are you
had
going
to
to
go
do
back.
about it?
I couldn't help myself.
You had to what?
I had to go back and look at it again. I mean, like, you literally look at the first time, and you're like, you got to be kidding me. Okay? And then the second time, you're like, you know what, this has gone from creepy to actually not really creepy. This has gone to frightening because, you know, the CEO of United Healthcare was killed just a few blocks from my house. And anything that creates like an agitation in the extremist on either side of the aisle is a frightening dynamic. I mean, you know, if we look at what happened in D.C.
I mean, the guy has a very solid point. There is always a cuckoo person out there. We've seen them all over the place. Try to assassinate Trump. Obviously, the healthcare CEO got assassinated. We've seen those things, and you're putting the target in someone's back because they had a good idea and they made millions. How is that fair? I don't understand, and I don't think those people know what they're doing while they're doing it. It's for their own purpose. And once that's met, they don't care about how it affects anyone else. That is the sad part about socialists. They want to take, and they don't care what the cost is going to be for this guy who have built his company. And it's not one of those people who just keeps and hoard his money. He's giving it back into the community, jobs, revenues. It's like, what is wrong with those people?
Posted a video that not only attacked him, but included where he lived. Griffin pointed to the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
What really upset me about the video was the fact that he put me in harm's way.
Hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin has made no secret of his unhappiness with Mayor Mamdani and his efforts to make him the poster boy for the need to tax the rich and tax the second homes of people who don't live in the city full time. But now he says the mayor put his life in danger.
He seems to have forgotten that the CEO of another American company was assassinated just blocks from where I live in New York. And to put any citizen in harm's way is just inappropriate for one of our political leaders.
Griffin was referring to the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, which is why he was upset and lashed out at the mayor's video.
This penthouse, which hedge fund CEO Ken Griffin bought for $238 million. This pied-à-terre tax is specifically designed for the richest.
This guy just looked like a con artist. His face, everything about him. Part of that's just me. But his smile just looked like it's fake, like he's putting on a show. I mean, that could be who he is in real life, but it just looks like there is a showman to him, which is a great thing that he has. He's a really good politician, but it looks fake.
Of the rich.
To turn me into a political puppet was just in poor taste, really poor taste. The tax itself is a tax that discriminates against a narrow group of people is also disconcerting. You know, our company's thinking about making a $6 billion investment in New York City.
350 Park.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. This is the part they don't tell their constituents, the people who want free stuff. That those wealthy people are giving back into the cities, back into the state. And if you drive them off, who's going to build in the state? This is what is concerning about these people who just want to take. They're not seeing the other side. I mean, they know about it, but they're not telling people about it. And there's a reason why they're not doing that. Because any reasonable person would be like, he made so much, but look at how much he's giving back. His house cost $200 million in New York, but he just gave $6 billion. Make that make sense. A rational person would be like, okay, I could see that. Because although his house may be expensive, he's quadrupling the amount of his house and investing back into the same city so that people could get a living and an earning. That's how I see it.
Right? Are they going to now have a special tax rate for those that own office buildings who live out of state? Like, where's this stop in New York?
The mayor did not address Griffin's concerns about his safety, saying through Press Secretary Joe Calvello, Mayor Mamdani wants all New Yorkers to succeed. That includes business owners and entrepreneurs who create good-paying jobs and make the city the economic engine of America. It also includes Ken Griffin, who is a major employer in our city and a powerful figure in our economy.
What a weak sauce. What a weak sauce. You called out the guy, right? Your spokesperson didn't call him out. You call him out. And now he's calling you out and tell you that you're putting his life in danger. And you think the appropriate response would be like you're the one who is going to say the response, whether it be verbally or on chat via text like this spokesperson did. The idea he should have went back and either apologize or make that statement himself. But he sent his crony instead to do it. That just shows you what kind of person Mamdani is. Weak.
But the mayor did not relent in his demand to tax the rich. His press secretary saying on his behalf, quote, "If we want this city to become a place that working people can afford, we need meaningful tax reform that includes the wealthiest New Yorkers contributing their fair share."
Typical Zoran Mamdani will find every avenue to make sure people's money is taken away. It doesn't matter the cost. To those individuals, they don't care about it.
It's tax tussle with billionaires, business leaders, and politicians all in the mix today. Governor Hochul is meeting with billionaire Ken Griffin, trying to ease tensions with the hedge fund CEO over the proposed pied-à-terre tax. Eyewitness News reporter Lindsay Tuckman live outside the governor's office on Manhattan's East Side. Lindsay?
Yes, Sandra, the governor actually said that this meeting with Ken Griffin was scheduled months ago before that video went viral of Mayor Mamdani talking about the billionaire in regards to the pied-à-terre tax. But despite it being scheduled several months ago, we all expect that it is likely going to be a big topic today. We also understand that they will be talking about the future direction of New York City in this meeting. We are here outside of the governor's office, but this also comes as local city leaders are discussing ways to close the...
My thing is, Holcomb better play smart with it. Don't be a Mamdani. Be able to calm the waters with all those investors, those large corporations. Make them feel at ease. Take those taxes away that those people would want to continue into the state, that they don't feel like their bottom line is being lost. Because they could easily go down to a Florida. Easily go down to a Texas. There are many cities and states that's welcoming them right now. Please come over. Bring your billions over. Because at the end of the day, you need those corporations to be able to pay those taxes and balance the budget. All those free stuff Mamdani wants, how is he going to get those things without the large companies? I tell you how. He's going to start taxing the middle class and the lower class, which he swear he would not.
Budget gap in the city. Now, Ken Griffin is the billionaire CEO and founder of the hedge fund and market trading firm Citadel. And it is, again, expected that him and Governor Kathy Hochul will be discussing the tax on second homes that has been proposed in New York for second homes worth more than $5 million, aka the pied-à-terre tax. Now, Griffin made headlines recently when Mayor Mamdani called him out, as well as his Manhattan home, by name in a video pushing for that tax. Griffin called it a personal attack that could be rather dangerous to have his home online like that. Mamdani, meantime, though, has been pushing to quote-unquote tax the rich, pleading as well for more money from state lawmakers to close the city's $5 billion budget gap. He will also be meeting with business leaders here in New York. Specifically today, Mayor Mamdani is meeting with Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan this afternoon, and this comes after he met with Chobani CEO Hamdi Ulukaya on Monday. So as for what Griffin and Hochul will be discussing, well, the CEO was at an investment conference in Oslo this week where he said they're likely to talk about his company's planned office tower at 350 Park Avenue and if that still will be moving forward after.
Yeah, I mean, I will be talking about those things too, into hey, if you don't do something about this guy or yourself, all those plans that I have for the city and the state, I don't know if I'm going to continue that. I think I'm going to move elsewhere. I mean, no one wants to be in a position where their bottom line is being threatened. I don't understand that. I don't understand how people are tax them, tax them. The people who are calling for those things, they don't have a job. They're just in the street with their little poster sign, or they're getting paid to say those things. But eventually, when those people leave, who are they going to say to tax? It's just amazing to me.
This event, Governor Hochul also spoke about their meeting.
I meet business leaders all the time. This was previously scheduled. We just changed the exact timing of it, but I already had this on the books. I meet business leaders all the time. So we booked this a while ago.
We'll talk about our future direction in New York. Here's the real question. Is New York going to put their fiscal house in order and run itself from a position of a strong government that's pro-business? Or are they looking to play, why do the Americans think we can do socialism? We have none of that in our DNA, and we're just going to screw it up.
Well, on that note, members of the New York City Democratic Socialists, as well as other local leaders and New Yorkers, are planning to rally outside the governor's office here later tonight. That's why you can see these barricades have been set up. And that is because there was another rally and protest held recently where 19 people were arrested. Obviously, that they do not want that to happen this time, but the ralliers say that they will be pushing for further taxes on the rich, including a raised tax for New Yorkers making more than $1 million.
All right, so we've seen all of this, right? So we know where that's going. At the end of the day, I think it's something very simple. These people are putting people's lives in danger by the things that they say. They don't realize it, or probably they do realize it purposefully being done. I don't know. But I think they should be held accountable for the things, for the rhetoric that they tout. And they're putting their own constituents' lives at risk now because those people are forcing the rich to leave the city. And therefore, jobs are going to be gone with them because they own the job. They're responsible for their company. So if they leave, their jobs are leaving too. So who will have the pain and suffering? Not those company owners. It's your constituents, the people who now will have no jobs. They may have jobs, but it won't be no high-paying job like they used to. So either two things they could do with that moving forward is either stay in that state or probably themselves have to follow those companies where they go to. So no matter what it is, it's going to be a lose-lose for that individual state because the company leaves and then people eventually have to leave because they want higher paying wages. I don't understand those things. Like, people are not forward thinking when it comes to those kind of things. It's always when they get into the thick of it, that's when they were like, oh man, probably we shouldn't have done that. That was a bad idea. So let me know what you think inside the comments. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, subscribe to A Black Veteran's Perspective. Stay motivated.